Hello and welcome to this video today. And today I'm going to be talking about what's next for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But please remember to like and subscribe, and let's get into this. So the Cleveland Cavaliers obviously aren't the greatest team. I think that's pretty obvious with where they are right now and the players that they've got. So obviously they've got a very good veteran in Kevin Love, who in my opinion they should try and trade. They should try and trade him for a pick in this draft from a team that could probably want a power forward. I'm not sure who that could be, Portland. But also having someone like, but you could get their pick in their draft, number 14, and you could try and draft some players from there on in to try and get some nice young youth talent. In my opinion, that'd be a great idea for this team. So obviously they've got the second pick in the draft, and it says that they should pick LaMelo. I totally agree with that, and in my opinion, you don't need Garrett Darius. You should try and trade him potentially to a young team that needs a point guard. Chicago Bulls. Just throwing some ideas out there. So that's a team that could use a point guard. Obviously, they've got Kobe White, but by the looks of things, it doesn't look like that the Chicago Bulls use him very much. In my opinion, if you draft LaMelo, you can use Colin Sexton back at the point guard. You can use LaMelo at your shooting guard, and then I haven't explained what they should do for their forwards. In my opinion, you go with the draft. When you get that pick, Deni Avdija, probably the most obvious small forward that you could go for, is off the table, as he definitely would have been picked up by now. But someone that you could go after in the draft could be Isaac Okoro. He is a very good defensive small forward who isn't obviously that great right now at it, but can become better at it. He is selected to go 10th to the Phoenix Suns. I think he could slide down, as there are some players below him, or you could try and trade up in the draft to get him. You could try and do a sign and trade with the Phoenix Suns, who obviously could be using a small forward, but you can maybe convince them that they don't need one. But you do need a forward here in this draft, and I think that's really necessary. So I think going after someone like Isaac Okoro would be a good idea. There obviously are some other small forwards below that kind of position in Sadiq Bey, who I don't know much about, but he's a small forward, 6'8", 215 pounds. You could go with a 29th pick, Jalen Smith, or Jaden McDaniels. You need to just fill in those forward slots for this team. If you can't fill in those forward slots, I think you're kind of losing what you were kind of going for this team. Because this team has a lot of potential with the players that they've gotten. But if they can try and lock up those two players, if they can try and get LaMelo Ball, which I think is very reasonable with the position that they're at, and going for that kind of player would be a great idea for them. A defensive small forward is perfect. You could and then in the next draft or free agency, you just try and fill in the slots. In my opinion, you should try and re-sign Tristan Thompson, or you should try and re-sign Andre Drummond. Try and re-sign either one of them. I'm not sure which one you should re-sign. I don't think Andre Drummond is is a good player for this team. Maybe you could do a sign and trade for another center. But you are going for someone a little bit younger, not necessarily really young, because you don't want to have zero vets. But I think with the amount of vets that you have compared to the amount of youth that you have, you need to increase that youth. This video today, I think for what's next now, I'm going to be trying to upload every second day. I'm just going to make sure I upload every team before the playoffs end. And I think that's just kind of my plan with the channel. I'm not going to bore you, so that'll be it. Thank you. Bye.